is Allah's apostle and also his servant. I seek Allah's choicest blessings upon him, upon members of his worthy household, his courageous companions, and upon all those who will continue to follow their footsteps till the day of accounting. Thereafter, we extend the best courtesy by saying, May Allah's peace and blessings abide with us. Good evening, welcome to Ta'alim tonight, made possible by Dawah Front of Nigeria, National Headquarters. We thank and appreciate everybody. We do not take your presence for granted. What's wrong with this Xiaomi? What's wrong with it? You can't write your name and you must come back each time we remove you. So we appreciate everybody that has been part of this program. We ask Allah to keep our homes, keep our faith, and keep our peace. Tonight, I want to tell you a life story, a true life story. I will tell you this story. I want you to tell me what happened. And if they are Muslims, what should be the solution? The husband is an engineer. He works on the rig. He spends weeks on the rig. He sends money home to his beloved wife, and they have 3 children. And the wife and the children are happy. They are enjoying themselves. There is no quarrel. It was a peaceful family, no turbulence. Until one day, one of the children fell ill and needed blood. The father rushed to the hospital to donate blood. Unfortunately, it was not a match to the child's blood. So he tried all his best, couldn't understand what was happening. He ran a DNA test and found that none of the children belonged to him. He didn't fight. He didn't raise any issue. He was now told about the relationship of his wife with the gym instructor. He followed them. He took video of them in a hotel as they were kissing. And he kept that. He kept the DNA test of his 3 children. He sold their house, unknown to the wife. He got a divorce paper and now invited everybody that was connected with them, their parents, friends, relatives, everybody, to a wedding anniversary. And at the wedding anniversary, he showed them the video of the DNA test of his wife with the gym instructor and told them he was sorry, he has sold the house, he has got divorced, and he was on his way out of the country to do a solo holiday. She could take her 3 children to their father, the gym instructor. What happened? What did work cause? If they are Muslim, what is the solution? Yeah, I've told you a story, and I want you to do an analysis of this story. If you understand what we've been talking about, how work, social media, and education destroy our homes as terrible third parties. If you heard my story, I expect you to respond. If they are Muslims, how do they manage this situation? How did we get to this situation? They are not poor, they are not suffering, but the husband only needed to work outside the home for which to their satisfaction as money. They were living in their own house, but none of the three children belonged to the man, and the gym instructor was the real alternative husband. What took this woman to gym? What took a woman to gym? And how come they had three children? In such marriages, there is no crisis. I want us to do an analysis of this. It's not fine. It's not nice that only one person comes here to talk. We may not understand it. I'm telling you a true life story. They are Christians. They are Yorubas.
Yes, Imam, I think anybody who is interested in talking can raise their hand, digital hand, so that they can be asked to unmute. So, Global Emira, you can unmute.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Prof, may Almighty Allah continue to be with you. May He continue to bless you. May He elongate your life in goodness.
Amen.
May He accept all this and many more that you do as ibadah worthy of His abundant reward, both here and in the hereafter. Amen. I read the story maybe some 2 months ago, and I've seen it again on our platform. Like somebody just said on the chat that it is the owner of the bed that owns the children. If they were Muslims, of course, the man is the owner of the children. But be that as it may, even that they are not Muslims, I personally don't think the route the man went through is right. At least for the sake of those children, they are innocent, for crying out loud. You shouldn't put them into shame like that, because ọjọ́ kan lèèyàn ń bàjẹ́, ojoojúmọ́ làbùkù ẹ̀ ń kànyàn. That is a proverb by our Yoruba people. So I think he went too far. There's nothing bad in you divorcing the wife, calling the people that gave her to you. You took her from a home. So call those people, let them know, then call her to let her know, give them evidences, and then end the marriage. But not to now go and disgrace their mother, put it in the public space. I don't agree with what he has done. The woman did very bad. There's no doubt about it. And there's no justification for it. But at the same time, two wrongs will not make it right. Thank you for this opportunity. Almighty Allah forgive us and rectify our affairs. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Somebody seems to be raising hand. Ajani's phone. Baba Agbalagba.
Salam alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallahu khairan, sir. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ àrí yín pẹ́ o.
Àmín sà.
Àmín o.
Àtẹ̀yìn náà sà.
Ajẹ́rìí yín Ọlọ́run á dáhùn mọ́ yín sí òun á jù yín lọ.
Àmín.
To me, firstly, if they were to be Muslim, what I will say is that it's not good to be a non-practicing Muslim. Because if you are a non-practicing Muslim, there are some rules that is compulsory according to Islamic teachings that guides marriage. If they have fulfilled some of them, we will not have fallen into this type of thing. Because medicine after death, I'm sorry to borrow from what the Global Amira had said, that she should have considered the children and not take the action she took. Really, it's not easy. It's not easy because the way it happened. Judging, because there are some things, the rules that guide it, the Islamic discipline. For example, from what you have taught us, we've been hearing in all the lectures you have been giving, that you consider movement with your wife to choose your work. There's limit to which you can abandon the woman and go far. You say everything does not depend on money, making comfort. There are some natural things which, if you give them the chance, they can't help. So I need to be more brief or put us through about it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
I will respond to the two, but let's take Sharif, co-host. Alhaji Qasim Alabi is on this platform. He must talk. But let's take Sharif first.
Okay, sir. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alaikum salam.
May Allah preserve your goodness.
Amen.
From my own small boy experience, I want to say that a lot of things are actually damaged before it got to that level of divorce or DNA stuff like that. I think even before then, years back, the absence of the man has caused a lot of damages in the home. There has been absence, there have been communication breakdown, there have been like denial, maybe sexual desire. There have been so many things that were not addressed before it now led to this issue of adultery and stuff like that, before eventually lead to all this having child out of marriage and stuff like that. So I think I will say that the man has he has a bigger blame on his side, because if you look at the gap he has created before all this issue now resulted into this, because he has to maybe because of means of economic survival, he has to leave the house all the time. This has created a vacuum that was not filled, never ever.
I don't know that is no longer hearing him.
Hello, sir. Am I audible, please?
Yeah, hearing him.
We can hear you.
Okay. So what I'm saying in essence is that the man has a lot of blame on his part because he has left the gap there. So he only paid Ogiri Oba Lanu Alangba Oluwobe. So Ogiri Eti Lanu, and a lot of damage has actually been done before it now actually we only saw the results years later. And he was only responding to the result and not responding to the cause of the problem. May Allah guide us.
Can we take Barrister Fatah Adewale Bakri? Old man. Lawyer Bakri, on mute. What's happening? Lawyer Bakri cannot unmute. Unmute, lawyer.
Mute. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Eshegon for bringing up this issue for discussion and enlightenment. For me, I think a lot of issues have been thrown up. One, it shows that our women are very vulnerable, particularly if we abstain from any form of physical contact with them for a very long period. They themselves, they may not realize this. And before you know it, by giving attention to the opposite sex, by creating a room for contact, they make themselves vulnerable and open to Shaitan's manipulation. Now, the man had not done well for abandoning his wife for such a long period. But two wrongs don't make a right. Both parties are wrong one way or the other. But I don't agree with the drastic step the man are taking. If he is a Muslim, what is his knowledge of forgiveness? How does he not know that he must learn to forgive? And this brings to mind the women also who are waiting for their husband to get old and to take a pound of flesh on them for what they have done 20 years, 30 years ago when they were still young. Where did we leave our forgiveness? Our forgiveness, our ability to forgive people and to overlook. Because nobody is perfect, and so we must learn to accommodate each other's shortcomings, each other's imperfection. And it's also a religious obligation, just as Allah informs us in Surah An-Nur, that if we hope for Allah's forgiveness, then we should learn to forgive others. This our man did not imbibe this knowledge and he did not put it into practice. So he is completely wrong, because with what he has done, he had intended to punish the woman, but he had unwittingly punished the children also. The children are not guilty of what has happened. They are not responsible for what has happened. But with the public show of shame he had subjected them to, I don't think is appropriate. May Allah continue to ease our affairs. This is my few contribution. I'm not condoning what the woman had done. Is entirely wrong. Even when you are being denied intimacy, the solution is not to seek for alternative outside wedlock. Your best bet is to divorce, and it's also a ground for divorce. It's a very fundamental ground. Every time a woman comes to court to complain that there is no sufficient intimacy in his marriage, the court will always divorce them. Even the regular court, not to talk of the Sharia court. Sharia court will always come to a aid and divorce them. But because of our own selfishness, our greediness, for the wealth the man is bringing in, he had forgotten, she had forgotten Al-Ahira. She had forgotten there will be a day of recompense for all our conduct on the surface of this earth. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. That's my little contribution, sir.
Thank you very much. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Before we move to the next contributor, let us quickly attend to some of the comments in the chat group. I don't know what's going on. Who is having this blowback? The owner of the bed owns the children. This is before the revelation of Surah An-Nur and Surah Al-Ahzab. This is before. This is a Jahiliyyah Sharia, not Islamic Sharia. The owner of the bed owns the children before the Sharia. There was no Sharia then. He married the woman, the husband is owner of the child. No way. In Ghana, the husband is not the owner of the children. It's not. Actually, the husband is supposed to pay more attention to his family. I agree with you. It's okay, létí àwo gbẹ̀gìrì. Ìgbẹ́ kékeré náà pé tójú bá kúrò níbẹ̀, ṣé ọkàn lè kúrò? I agree with you. I think both have a share of the blame. The man is extremely in error and it's because of the chaos. But this should not be a reason for infidelity. It is not condoned by Almighty Allah. And has she forgotten that she's going to meet her creator and her deed is written in her own book? I agree with you. Why the man may be blamed for his absenteeism, it is not a justification for zina. I agree with you, ma. I agree with you, Ashmiyu, although it is better to write your name. I agree with you, Gas. I agree with you, Aminati Tilayo, but I disagree with you that the owner of the bed owns the children. That's the error. The owner of the bed does not own the children after the Sharia. Now let me directly respond to Barrister Fatah because he's a lawyer. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala institutes the Sharia for zina. And the zina that has evidence, it is stoning to death. Stoning to death. Even as Muslims today, you cannot stone anybody to death today. But what is the forgiveness here? When Allah is telling us in Surah An-Nur how to handle fornication, He said, you should not let pity drive you to defy the rule of Allah. There is no forgiveness here. Forgiveness for what? For a wife committing zina, there's no forgiveness. Allah knows our nature as men. If a man knows that his wife is committing zina, he wants to kill the two of them. If a woman knows that another woman is committing zina with her husband, she wants to kill her too. So Allah Kukuma say, let's kill them for you, so that there will be peace. There is no way, like Dr. Al-Ghani said, there's no way you can forgive this. You'll be taking care of other people's children. Suppose anything happens in future, no, we shouldn't be talking about forgiveness. It is so easy to talk. I'm sorry to use this slang, talk is cheap, but it's so difficult to practice. I have no comment about whether the man went to extreme, but there is no forgiveness in this matter. There is no forgiveness. In Surah to Nur, if a man accuses his wife of zina and he has no 4 witnesses, he swears 4 times and incurs the wrath of Allah on himself if he was lying. The same thing with the woman, of Allah on herself, and that is divorce, as far as I know. Once you do li'an, you are no longer staying together because one of them is under the curse or anger of Allah. So I don't think we should be talking like this. Forgiveness forgiveness if he didn't do that, he would never be happy. The revenge was sweet to him. Last comment. I regret to tell you that these things are happening to Muslims. They are invoking the spirit of forgiveness. Muslims know their wives commit zina because they are not present. They are absentee husbands. What happened to this man is happening to Muslims. You see, you have gone to school, school has told you, and social media, that it is not all about sex. Nature now tells you it is all about sex. What else is it about? Nature made the woman vulnerable, if we like to use that expression, but book, our education, our schooling, prepared her for alternative. It is just cheating. And as long as the husband doesn't know, what jello, I'm more yellow to jello. Now you're working in Lagos, your wife is in Ibadan, and you think monthly meeting, you're working in Abuja, your husband is in 600 kilometers away. She's a professional. Work environment, dating, and zina is now rampant everywhere. Work environment, dating is very rampant because we see each other every time and we get attracted to each other and we don't see our spouses. It is the education that makes us feel there is nothing. It's just cheating. It's not all about sex, but it's about what? Then nature demands for sex, trouble started. You keep it, you think it is not going to happen. And what interests me is that in every case that I've handled, the marriage has always been peaceful, especially among the Christians, because I also counsel Christians. One case that shocked me to my marrow is that they have to forgive each other because the man also has children outside the marriage. So he now brought his bastard children to meet with other bastard children. Peace resumes. The woman was cheating, the man was cheating. Draw. 2-2, no cheating. She gave him 2 bastards. He had 2 bastards outside too. And so they brought the 4 children home, and the prostitute becomes the mother of the 4 children. Peacefully, they were still living. They were Christians too. So the point I want us to take note is that we defy Islam, we defy Allah. When our predecessors were traveling, they will go with their wives and children. When they camp, whether for business or for jihad, when they camp, they do this thing because that is the reason they travel together. If they wanted to pray and there is no water and they have done it, they do tayammum. Surah An-Nisa, Surah Al-Ma'idah. Why do Muslims live a life of denial? And there is no man that will not go mad. There is no man. There is no man that will not go mad. Even if the man is worse than the husband, than the wife. It is easy to sit down in judgment over others. But we know what we do. We know what we do. It is not natural. In Surah An-Nur, people accused Aisha of committing zina. There was no evidence, no response from Allah. The Prophet ﷺ asked her to go to her mother. And they were advising him to divorce until Allah intervened. So I think we should be realistic. Schooling, education led her to this loose life. Life of deceit, life of packaging. Social media taught her how to manage it, and Allah exposed it. There are many instances among the Muslims that Allah has not exposed. A man divorced his wife, and one of the reasons was that the wife came home one day and insisted that they must have sex. And when they started, he noticed that his wife was wet, extremely wet. And he said he did not trust her that she had not committed zina. The divorce fell through. There are other issues surrounding the divorce, but that singular incident, the man did not forget. If we plead with him, you did not catch her, there was no evidence, let's follow the Sharia, he will wake up one day and kill that woman out of extreme anger. I have no comment about whether he went to extreme. I don't have any comment, but let's hear other people. Yeah, Bismillah.
Please let Tech know whatever SP put his name to have been removed, please.
Àwọn òwe yìí lágbára fẹ́mi o.
Tawhid Alimi, you can unmute, please.
No, Jazakumullah khair, sir. To Prof, Jazakumullah khair for the guidance. So I don't have contribution to this matter because I am still very young and I don't think I have the ground to make on you. But I needed to start to help me expand on what you already started, and that is coming from the comment that Ustaz Sharif made, saying that the large part of the fault is coming from the husband because he gave room for that zina to happen on the part of the wife. So, and that made me curious that, okay, maybe we need to start redefining or defining how many wars a man is supposed to fight. I understand very clearly he has a responsibility to go fend for him, for the family. But like you already started, sir, that's one of the things that is prominent to the companions is they travel with their family. So, sir, if you be kind enough to further expatiate as to how a man, what are his responsibility? How many wars is he supposed to be fighting? The war of going out to fend for the family and the war of keeping tab on the wife to make sure that she doesn't go astray. I am just very curious around that. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, the man has come into this world to enter cupboard. And whoever decides to marry takes responsibility upon himself. That is why they could marry 3, 4, If you marry 3, 4, you are traveling for anything, you take one. The Prophet Islam used to do tally. They will, whoever wins goes with the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And again, other wives will be expecting him to go with them next time. School determines the job we do and imposes poverty on us. So we don't have enough financial capacity to rent a wet nurse, a foster mother, a servant to take care of our homes in the absence of our wife, who is supposed to go with us. We must live together. Allah has not abrogated that ayah. Litaskunu ilayha. If we abrogate it, this is what we suffer. If we justify a new life that the kuffar created for us and rationalize it, this is what we get. Your wife went to school, she must work. By the time you want to travel for business, she cannot go because of work. And you too, how are we sure that the best way you manage this thing is not by masturbation? The best way to manage this thing is masturbation. Now, my own attitude, I may be wrong, is that we are trying to bend Islam, to reconstruct it, to fit into a kufru life that we are living. A man has come to fight all wars. But a man that is expecting the wife to support him will not mind if the wife cheats, commits zina to get the money to support him. But a man that is ready to take care of all the responsibilities, Allah knows our intention. Now, a man is not capable to take care of one wife. He cannot take one wife for travel. He marries 2, 3, and he travels alone. What is the purpose of these 2, 3 wives? What is the purpose? The purpose is drama. It's just drama. Let me tell you from my own experience, cases like this are plenty among Muslims. Àti gbọ́ ni o, àti gbọ́. There was a couple. The husband identified the father of one of the children. He's a neighbor. He's a neighbor. I won't mention the Muslim organization. It's a very serious, deep, Sunnatic Muslim organization. Every time this man went out for the religious propagation, Emeka will come. He's an Igbo man. The woman will say, Emeka, come. Ella, Emeka, come. One day, they asked the man to come back unannounced. He found Emeka on his wife. You go about, you go for 4 months. And you think it will happen? The man opted out of Islam because what he was doing was the best Islam, according to him. But here we are. We are denaturing ourselves. Let's get Amotara.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
May Allah increase your honor, sir, and continue to preserve you for us. I want to join other contributors to blame the man for that error. in the sense that I don't know what stopped him from arranging an accommodation close to the creek where he was working to prevent what has happened. He can put his family close by so that he can easily get home. I mean, at a short interval to prevent this occurrence. Like I also agree with you, sir. I wonder why people are talking about forgiveness, because there is clear lay rule of Allah. So that is on the side of the man. You are talking about those who have even gone into polygamy. The case study at hand is that of a man having one wife. Now, we don't even consider the position of the gym master that could be aware that he is actually the owner of the children, the 3 kids. So the best is the ruling of Allah. Talaq is inevitable. They have to separate. But I want to address the woman. We have learned during the time of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, those who were reported to the Prophet Sallallahu by their wives for going extreme in trying to abstain by fasting, which will prevent them from, doing the sunnah with their wives. The wives complained. What stopped the woman from raising alarm when it was becoming unbearable? I listened to Imam Ofa, Sheikh Muhyiddin, not quite long before this started. He also, I think it was on Facebook, he shared the experience of a woman. He was addressing women that when a woman divorced, when a woman called for divorce, they don't know what was her experience. They will be blaming her. That the case of a woman that he shared, the husband used to send her to Humura, make everything available, but the man cannot perform. Then when the woman opted for divorce, people were blaming her. Then Imam called her that she should come. He want to listen to her, that he cannot just blame her. Then the woman came down and said, well, it is better for her to quit the marriage, call for divorce, rather than having children out of zina when the man knows that he cannot perform. The man that is absent is more or less that a man that cannot perform. So the essence of marriage is...
Sorry, Omotara, sorry. I didn't ask you to talk about this man. I said, if they are Muslims, what is the solution? We don't have any reason to blame anybody here. They are not Muslims. We are only saying this thing is happening to Muslims. If it happens to Muslims, what is the solution? Let's take Alhaji Qasim Alabi. Meanwhile, the person that calls him or herself a dark, you are rude. Whoever you are rude. You're saying your name is still up, Mr. Moderator. We don't talk like that here. We have respect. Whoever you are, learn how to talk. You know there is another hand before you. Your hand is still there, Mr. Moderator. Write your name. It's a condition for me to allow you to make contribution. Adak is not a name. Let us know your name. Alhaji Qasim Alabi.
Yes, sir. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I have listened patiently to all the contributors, and I want to say that many of us are just being emotional with respect to the issue of forgiveness that somebody actually mentioned. Allah's law is clear to all of us about zina. It's so Allah says they should be disgraced publicly. Should be in fact, when I to be stoned, they have to be stoned in the public. Even flogging for people who are married should be done publicly to serve as deterrents to others. They are not forgiving to nothing of the prayer at all whatsoever. So we shouldn't be emotional about it at all about what Allah, I mean, on this issue. Allah's word is very clear and direct. That is number one. Number two, like somebody actually mentioned, honestly, we are in deep shit. We are in problem in the world today. Even the Muslims, cannot be left out. Can be left out. Because what has happened to that particular couple is actually happening to so many people today in the world today, Muslims inclusive. And of course, we know the reasons why all these things are actually happening to us anyway. Neglect, not being at home, not being present at home with your spouse. So these are the issues, And we have seen instances when even men are guilty of the same offense they accuse women of as well. It's difficult to actually in most instances. Nobody knows about it. So the bottom line is the fact that Muslims must change our attitude. We should go back to Allah. We should run back to Allah and do things the way it should be done, to obey Allah and His Rasul, both in letter and in spirit. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Jazakallah khairan, ya Imam. Now, this is the first time somebody has addressed this issue directly. We are not talking about this man. We are just using it as a case study. If it happens to the Muslim, what is the solution? Thank you very much, Ya Imam, Sheikh Al-Mubajjal. Alhaji Abdulhakim, Tamplana Abdulhakim Adebayo, was that the attack? Whatever. Let's hear you.
First, I want to apologize for that message. It was said jokingly. So I apologize for sending the message. So on the issue we are discussing, well, a lot has been said regarding our responses. But nǹkan àkọ́kọ́ tí mo fẹ́ ká note ni pé kọ́lọ́mbà kó ṣe àánú fún wa. Education, modernism in all its form is seriously affecting us. Thinking and the way we view things. So, assuming these people are Muslim, so I'm not talking about those in the story. Somebody Muslimi, like Alhaji Kozim Alabi said, and another person, and Imam too said it, there's no way by which they can live together thereafter. There's no way. We have to be sincere. There's no way. So the best thing is that is even the Sharia. They should be separated. One, tó bá yẹ pé obìnrin yẹn wà involved in zina lásán ni, tí ò sí issue pé ó ti bí ọmọ outside the marriage, ó sì lè ṣe manage. Ó sì lè ṣe manage. Then, two is this. The issue of having children outside the marriage doesn't start in a day. Irú obìnrin yẹn lè ti wà involved in zina tipẹ́ kó tó di ọlọ́mọdé. Number 3 tí mo fẹ́ ká note ni pé èèyàn bí ọmọ àkọ́kọ́ outside the marriage. Ó go ahead. Ká assume pé mistake l'àkọ́kọ́. Ká assume báwọn yẹn ṣe máa ń sọ pé mistake ni. Ṣé mistake ni èkejì? Ṣé mistake lẹ́kẹta? So these are issues that we should know. Pé kò sírú forgiveness tó lè wáyé obìnrin yẹn ò lè kúrò nínú relationship tó ní pẹ̀lú outsider yẹn. So the best thing is to get separated kí kálukú lọ ní ìlò ẹ̀. Then on the man's part, well, bóyá torí pé ibi táwa ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ tó jẹ́ public space, so ó jẹ́ ká wá expose sí àwọn nǹkan kan. It's not good kọkùnrin fi family ẹ̀ sílẹ̀ for a long time. Àti ìyàwó àtọmọ, kéèsì ọmọ kan ṣẹpẹrẹ ni, is not good. But what is the role of the wife in the husband moving away from home? Most women, Imam sir,
Yeah.
most women, our sister, send their husband out of the house as a result of their their unending demands. Their unending demand. Torí pé ọkùnrin wò pé responsibility ò ní láti take care wọn. Kò fẹ́ kí ìyàwó ẹ̀ wò ta, kò fẹ́ kí ìyàwó ẹ̀ ṣe igbá, kò fẹ́ kí ìyàwó ẹ̀ ṣàwo. So ń jẹ́ kí ọkùnrin míì sáré ju ìtọ́lọ́run gan lọ. So I mention this because something like that happened in my workplace. Though kì í ṣe pé ó lead to zina o, in fact it led to the death of the husband anyway. Torí pé ọkọ sáré ju though kò kì í ṣe Muslim ntọ́lọ́run lọ, torí pé ó ṣàfẹ́ satisfy ìyàwó ẹ̀, kò fẹ́ kí ìyàwó ẹ̀ wò ta, kò fẹ́ kó ṣe oríṣiríṣi. So who knows if such a case is that man's case. So the last thing I want to talk about on the issue ó ní pé Ọlọ́run ló ní àforíjì lọ́dọ̀. Àforíjì yẹn láàrin ìyàwó tí rẹ̀ bá ṣẹlẹ̀ àtọ́lọ́run ni. In fact, I quickly Googled it looking for Sharia whatever on it. Bóyá yàtọ̀ sí tí mo gbọ́, kí n má sọ pé mo mọ̀ torí mi ṣe àfáà. Bóyá yàtọ̀ sí mo gbọ́, kò sí ibi tí wọ́n ti ní kí ìyàwó, at least all the scholars tí mo ti gbọ́ rí, tí mo dẹ̀ ti kà, kò sí wọ́n ti ní kọ́kọ́ forgive ìyàwó ẹ̀ lórí irú issue báyìí. Like Imam said, tó bá yẹ pé ibi tán ti ń lo Sharia níbi tá a ti mọ̀ kò sí forgiveness lórí ẹ̀, tó bá yẹ pé ibi tán ti ń lo Sharia ni wọ́n máa sọ lóko pa ni now. So death ti separate wọn. So that means the only solution is to be separated. But like Alhaji said, káwọn ọkùnrin náà wà careful. At times, tí ó máa yẹ pé èèyàn jókòó téèyàn wò dáadáa, tọ́lọ́run dẹ̀ guide èèyàn. Some instances in Islamic ni ó máa ń fẹ́ wà one-sided. Tọkùnrin bá ṣe irú ẹ̀, ìta máa sọ náà ni pé ó máa accommodate kíyàwó accommodate ẹ̀. Nǹkan ni ò kí ń di púpọ̀, méjì mẹ́ta kínú bíyàn. So but kí obìnrin wò pé even kò yẹ pọ́kọ ẹ̀ ń ṣe ṣìnà, kọkùnrin tọ àtọ̀rìn, kóbìnrin tọ àtọ̀rìn, ẹnìkan máa lómi lẹ́yìn ẹsẹ̀ jura wọn lọ. So the best thing is to take Allah's laid down course. Take it to people that can discuss it. Káàzùn pé ọkọ kúrò nílé kò wálé ó ń lọ. Take it to people that can discuss it. Kán bá sọ̀rọ̀, kán bẹ́yìn méjèèjì sọ̀rọ̀. Even kò yẹ pọ́kọ ń ṣe ṣìnà, take it to people that can discuss it. If it doesn't work, then kíkà lọ nílò ẹ̀. Instead of things like this, it is noted pé àwọn ọmọ yẹn máa wà embarrassed, but bóyá pé bóyá ọkọ ló máa padà wà embarrassed torí ọlọ́mọ máa gbọ́mọ at the end of the day. So wallahu alam.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alhaji Tomplan Blakim. Yeah, your last comment is about what we discussed several weeks ago, the significant others. If they are Muslims, they go to the significant others, and there are ayats of the Quran that are related to that. Thank you very much. Sister Balkis, Oloruni Shola, I agree with you, but not being is not the only issue for zina. Zina is happening among couples that live together and go to work from home. Some fundamental issues are couple communication, intimacy, leadership, and management of the marriage. And this is the purpose of this platform. That if you have issues, let's know. However, negligence, the husband going away, makes the woman vulnerable. If you are doing it, we must seek forgiveness and do tawbah. If we do it, we go away from our wives without apology, without engagement, without negotiation. We can't just tell, as Muslims, we can't just tell, Allah's rule about zina is very clear. She's to be stoned to death. Allah has not told us to manage zina or carry lamb, There should be punishment. Alhaji Alabi again. What is the Sharia as regards the children? The children's fathers are known. Let the father take them. The woman will take the children to their father. It's as simple as that. I remember a case of a leader of one of popular Dawah organization. One of the wives committed zina with another member of the same organization when the man was away for over 40 days. It is unfortunate that the woman in question is in the carbide. They are always so. Things are happening. Wallahi, things are happening. Neither the wife nor the man should engage in zina or give room for the other party to do so. We should all fear Allah. Thank you very much, everybody. Let's take the coordinator so that he can. Suleiman, Agome, what is said also. The next week. Let's take this matter again. I suggest let's take this matter again next week. We will have part 2. How do we manage preventable zina? We will have to bring in more issues apart from going away. How do we manage work to manage preventable zina? How do we manage work to manage preventable zina and other things? Culture,
Yes, sir.